even fit on the screen, so you can't really imagine that. Yeah, that's the new height limit. Let's think about that for a moment. Alright, so I actually stopped the recording because I was kind of saying that rhetorically. Let's think about the height limit for a moment. But actually I thought of something else to say. Like, if we consider like that change to the game in terms of what we were saying just now, like, does increasing the height limit increase the possibilities of... Oh, I need more fences. Does it increase the possibilities? Of course it does. Of course it does. Increasing the height limit means that you can build bigger things. Like, you can build more things in the game. Like, it expands the possibilities for players, and therefore, I mean, just by that, I can predict that it's a good addition to the game. Actually, I need to go all the way back to base to get more wood, don't I? Yeah, I do. Well, I can use... Well, let's just use that for now. So, you know, that's a change to the game that allows players to do things that they couldn't do before, which is great, and it doesn't restrict what the players can do in any way neither. Like, you can do whatever you want, you can build whatever you like in the new height limit. So I consider that to be an addition that is, you know, that's good for Minecraft. If that, you know, if you can, if that makes sense, you know, whether something is good for Minecraft or bad for Minecraft. I guess it's a bit of a subjective judgment, but just by the fact that, you know, it fits with the philosophy of Minecraft, I think. I mean, if, again, you know, what's the philosophy of Minecraft? Who decides what that is? I think partially Notch does, but partially the players do as well. You know, if the players decide to play the game in a certain way, then that's what the game becomes, inevitably. So, you know, that changed the game, I think, increases possibilities, and I think, like, I don't think people give Jeb enough credit for the stuff that he's doing quietly behind the scenes neither, and because it's not what people typically would get excited about. Things like a proper API for Minecraft, you know, like mod support, and just making, you know, the doubling of the map height limit. That's part of a change to the save file system in Minecraft. That also includes the possibility to have more types of blocks as well. Like, before, the types of blocks were kind of running out of the number of blocks, or the number of different blocks they could have in the game. If I remember correctly, like, the new save system expanded that dramatically, so you can have more stuff now. And I think Jeb is actually laying the foundations for dramatically increasing the possibilities of the game in the future. And I'm not sure if enough people recognize that. And whether you know, he does it, or Notch does it, or Mojang does it, or whether he just opens up the possibilities for mods to become a lot better in the future, I don't know. But either way, I think what he's quietly doing is actually very good for Minecraft. Again, you know, not to take sides or not to bash on anyone, but what was that sound? Was that a slime? Anyway, I'm pretty sure that, you know, it's gonna end up being more worthwhile than adding a dragon to the game, for example. I mean, there's already mods that add more animals to the game and all that. Again, like, smoothing out the support for those mods. Imagine if, you know, you had a system where you can have an arbitrary number of mods and they don't conflict in any way, because, you know, everything is set up so that it's all modular and you can just add stuff to it and the game will automatically, assign resources or whatever it needs to run those new animals, then the mod creators can have a lot more freedom to create stuff. And that potentially increases the possibilities in the game infinitely. So I mean, I'm pretty sure it's pretty hard work to turn an existing game into something that is mod friendly when previously it wasn't. I mean, the game wasn't initially designed to support mods, I don't think. But I forgot about these. But if they manage to do it, then I think it will be very good for Minecraft. I mean, I'm just guessing. I mean, I don't know, of course, but that's based on my understanding of how games work, right, and what people enjoy about Minecraft, I think it will be a very good thing for Minecraft. If they set up the game engine, as it were, to support expanding the possibilities of the game. I think Jeb understands this. Like, he's not a very eloquent guy when it comes to explaining what he's doing. I think he's more of an engineer than anything else. But I think he does understand this based on the occasional tweet that he talks, where he talks about what he's doing. Maybe he understands it a bit better than Notch, and maybe that's why he's actually in charge of developing Minecraft now at this point instead of Notch. I mean, as clever as Notch is, and as amazing as he is for creating the basis of the game, I think I've said this before. I think it's like putting Jeb in charge now. I think it's the right thing to do at this stage of development. Oops. Wow. And I mean, if we want to, we can evaluate every single feature of the game along the lines of, does it expand possibilities or does it not expand possibilities? I mean, what are the changes that have been made in the past, like major changes? Let's just go over the things I really don't like. Depth fog. The idea that the fog is thicker. Well, it's not even fog. Basically, your viewing distance decreases as you get towards the bedrock. Does that increase or decrease possibilities? I think it decreases possibilities because there's no point building elaborate structures at bedrock level because you can't see anything. So that actually decreases the range of things that players can make. So that's, I don't like it. And not initially not because of that, but because, it's like I've never been exploring in caves and found the depth fog to be interesting, whereas I find it in my spawn point mine, where I get my diamonds and cobblestone. I find it there, where it's not actually useful at all, or it's not interesting at all. It's just annoying more than anything else. If it's supposed to, enhance the sense of danger, then it doesn't, because I've never been in a situation where I thought to myself, wow, I need to be really careful because I can't see more than, 20 meters in front of me. There might be a creeper behind there while I'm exploring, because it's, the depth fog doesn't kick in until you're right at bedrock level. I don't know, it's just never been effective for me, whereas it reduces possibilities for people who want to build something close to bedrock, and you can't see it anymore. So I think that's bad. Spiders climbing, I think a lot of people were not amused by that change. Did I get this right? Oops. Oh, I missed something there, yeah. So back when they added the ability for spiders to climb surfaces, like, a lot of people were unhappy, I think. I think mostly because their existing structures were no longer spider-proof. And so that change a lot of stuff. I personally didn't find it to be too much of a problem, because you can quite easily put an overhang on your existing walls, and then the spider couldn't get in anymore. I mean, if you had stuff built previously, then obviously you have to change how it looks and all that, and that might not be the best thing for you. But I thought ultimately it didn't change too much, and ultimately it neither increased nor decreased the possibilities in the game. Like, you had to build things a little differently to keep spiders out, but it's not like there were things you couldn't do anymore. Neither was there anything that you could do that you couldn't do before. So, I mean, I'm kind of neutral on that change. Whereas at one point I remember they made it so that as you go deeper, then the enemies will spawn at higher light levels, until at a certain point, no matter how bright your caverns were, enemies will spawn anywhere. And I hated that. I absolutely hated that, because that made it so that you couldn't make certain areas of the game safe anymore. Like, there were certain areas of the game that would always be dangerous. And I think that reduces possibilities, because you could no longer secure certain parts of the map. So then there was no point building anything interesting at depth. Again, the same with the depth fog. Like, it reduces the... Okay, there's something there that you can't see it. Like, it reduces the possibilities of you building something near the bottom of the map, because you can't make it safe. There's no point building something there. So I think it decreased possibilities, and it was reverted later on. I think like a lot of people thought that was quite annoying, and I think Notch himself, when he tested it later, he decided it was more annoying than anything else. And the same goes for Enderman as well. Like, the way they pick up blocks. Hold on. The way Endermen pick up blocks and teleport around. Again, they make it so that you can't actually secure an area anymore. I mean, you kind of can. Like, I put torches down everywhere. It's still relatively safe. But occasionally you'll find an Enderman walking around, because they spawn in an underground cavern where there's water. They walk into the water, they teleport out onto the surface, and then they start griefing up your stuff. I've found one before, like griefing up one of my old fortresses, and it just, I don't know, I don't like that. I don't like the idea that no matter what you build, there's no practical way of solving the problem. And then we go back to the idea that Minecraft is a game where you mine blocks and place blocks to achieve certain things. And here I want to achieve being safe from enemies, which is why I put torches everywhere, right? Which is why I'm building this giant wall, though I don't actually need it quite this big. But I want to secure myself against enemy mobs, and I can't actually do that effectively. The only way I can do that is if I find every single cavern that has water in it and remove the water or light it up. And that involves me digging down, or just exploring the whole underground area. And I don't know if you guys have downloaded my map and looked at what this place looks like, but if you go into one of these caves, there's a lot of caves down there, and there's no way that I've managed to find all of them, even now after I've been playing the same map for so long. And so to entirely Enderman proof this little enclosure of mine is not practical. It's not practically achievable. And so it reduces. I mean, it doesn't matter because they're so rare, like it doesn't really matter that much. But I still dislike the idea that there's something in the game that you can't do. I don't think a game like Minecraft should be like that. Like there's certain things that you can't do. As I said, I think Minecraft should be the kind of game where you can, if there's something you can't do now, then if you build something clever, then after you've built it, you can do it. I think that's the kind of game that Minecraft should be. Like if you put in a certain amount of work, then you can do things that you couldn't do before. So yeah, Enderman, I'm not a big fan of Enderman. I would not be disappointed to see them, cut from the game. Or, just be a lot more careful about where they can teleport and what they can pick up. What else? What are the features? The idea that zombies now drop iron and iron items. I think that increases possibilities. The idea that iron is now technically a renewable resource, I think that increases possibilities. Especially if you... Oh, I have a couple of zombie spawners that I found. I can turn that into a grinder to harvest the iron. Anyway, so now technically iron is a renewable resource.